In the name of Allah, our today's topic is infinitives. We will be discussing the usage of infinitive and what is infinitive. In fact, infinitive is the non conjugated form of a verb. It means that the very basic form of a verb is called infinitive. In a sentence, we can have many verbs, and these verbs can be conjugated. For example, if we see this sentence, my cousin lives in a town near here. So in this sentence, we have only one verb, which is lives, and this is conjugated. It means it has taken a form, or it has taken a form of a tense, which is s. This is the main verb of the sentence. In this example, if you see, Marie didn't want to come to school because she feels sick. In this sentence, we have three verbs: didn't, want, and feels. Didn't is a verb which is conjugated. It means it has taken the past form. Want is also the main or the basic form of the verb, or it is zero infinitive, or it is called bare infinitive. And feels is also a conjugated form of feel, which has taken s. If you see, this is auxiliary verb and these two are main verbs. Does your sister know that you have found her money? In this example, we have three verbs, almost four, sorry. The first one is does, which is auxiliary verb. The second one is know, which is main verb. And the third one is have, which is also auxiliary verb. And the fourth one is found, which is main verb. And all of these verbs are conjugated. In this example, we are listening to this beautiful music you lent to us last week. In this sentence, we can see that there are many verbs. The first one is auxiliary, and the second two verbs are main verbs, but they are conjugated. The first main verb has taken ing. The second verb is lent, which is the past form of lend. There is another example. They need to see what you did with their investment. In this sentence, there are also two verbs. The need is the first verb, which is the main verb. Did is the auxiliary verb. To see is the to infinitive. It means this is an infinitive and this is the to infinitive, which has to in its structure. Main verbs and auxiliary verbs are conjugated. That means a subject does, is doing, did, will do, etc. As I mentioned in the beginning of the presentation, the main verbs are always conjugated. It means it takes the form of a tense, but infinitives never conjugates. It means it never takes the form of any verb. It is in the base form. As you see in the example, there is does, which has taken the form of doing, and did and will do. It is conjugated, so these are the main verbs. Infinitives are not conjugated, so they have no tense. As I mentioned earlier, they do not add s, es, ing, or ed, nor do they come in the past form in case they are irregular. Well, as I mentioned before, infinitives are not conjugated. They does not take the form of any tense. They does not take any suffix such as s or es, ing, ed, or any other suffixes. These sentences, well, now we will see some sentences which are incorrect because they use the spelling of a conjugation in the infinitive form. For example, John Pablo needs to explaining the class. As we mentioned before, that infinitives are the base form of the verb, so to explaining is incorrect because the verb explain has taken ing, and we do not in infinitives in the base form of the verb, which is infinitive, no suffix of tenses can be added to the base form of the verb. It should be to explain. They want to study today. In this form, there is also ed added to the infinitive, which is incorrect, and the base form of the verb or infinitive does not take any suffix which belongs to any tense. This should be day 1 to study today. Uh, there are other examples too. The only exception where a verb that comes after a to uses ing is when using the expressions or. There are some cases where after to the verb takes ing, and these are the exceptions. For example, if we use the used or accustomed to or get used to or accustomed to or look forward to, and in such cases or uh, with these phrases we can use the ing form of the verb. For example, my father gets used to or accustomed to listening to his friends when they talk too much. As we mentioned before, gets used to or accustomed to are the two phrases with which we can use the ing. Well, so as I mentioned before, uh, we are used to or accustomed to staying in this hotel. As I mentioned earlier, used to, accustomed to, or look forward to. With these phrases, we can use the ing form of a verb. Most of the times, an infinitive is preceded by a to. As we mentioned before, there are two types of infinitives: to infinitive and bare infinitive. The infinitives or the base form of the verb which comes with to is called to infinitive, and the verb or base form of the verb which comes without to is called bare infinitive. Everyone wanted to go. The here to go is the infinitive. They can come after a verb that is conjugated. It means we can see that in this example the to go or the infinitive to go has come after the verb wanted. It means that an infinitive can be used after wanted. She refuses to come to my house. You can see that the main verb in this sentence is refuse, and it is conjugated. It means it is in the simple form of the verb, and after this main verb the infinitive to come has come after the main verb. They want to see you now. In this example, you can see that the main verb is want and the infinitive is to see. It means they want to see you now. If we analyze this sentence, we can find out that infinitive can occur in this structure: verb plus infinitive plus object. They want is the verb, to see is the infinitive, and you is the object. They can come, well, infinitives can come after the object of a sentence. For example, the teacher needs Maria. In this sentence, the teacher is the subject, needs is the verb, Maria is the object, and after object we have to come. After the main verb needs, there is object, which is Maria, and after object the infinitive has occurred. Maria's object and to come is infinitive. The base form of the verb can work as an infinitive when preceded by the verbs make, have, let, and help. Help can be followed by an infinitive or the base form. For example, Camilla makes me feel good. In this sentence, Camilla is the subject, main verb is makes, which has been conjugated, object is me, and feel is base form of the verb, which we call it bare infinitive, and good is the complement in this sentence. There are some usages for infinitive. Infinitive, most of the time infinitive comes with it. For example, it is difficult to learn English language. In this example, It is used in the beginning of the sentence, and there is the to learn, which is the infinitive. We we can also state this in example in another way without using it. To learn English is difficult. So, in the second example, which is to learn English is difficult, infinitive has taken the place of a subject of the sentence because it has come at the beginning of the sentence. To learn English is difficult. Infinitive can also take the position of object in a sentence, like in the example below. Everyone wanted to go. In this sentence, the infinitive, which is to go in this sentence, has come after the verb, and it is the direct object of the verb. And another example is infinitive to indicate the purpose or intention, or infinitive is also used to answer the question why. For example, he came to collect his bag. We can say why he came here. The answer could be he came to collect his bag. In this sentences, if you pay attention, to collect his bag, it showed the purpose and intention of the person or the subject of the sentence. It means the intention of the subject, which is he, was to come and collect his bag. Infinitive also are used to indicate the use of something. For example, in most of the cases, if a noun plus infinitive comes in a sentence, it indicates the use of something. For example, the children need the garden to play in. It means the use of garden for the for the children. It means the children need the garden to play in. It means for the purpose of playing in the garden, the children need it. Infinitives can also come after adjective. For example, it is good to talk to you. Here, good is adjective, and to talk has come after the adjective. I'm ready to go with you. The ready is adjective, and to go comes after this adjective. Infinitives also comes with adverbs such as to and enough to show the satisfaction or dissatisfaction of a person from a situation. For example, it is too cold to go out. It means it shows that he is not satisfied with the weather condition to go out. Or there is enough food to eat. It means he is satisfied. It shows his satisfaction from the amount of food which is present there. Another is infinitives with question words such as who and how to ask question. For example, he asked me how to stop the car. We can use these infinitives with the question words such as how, what, and so on. He asked me what to do. Also, two infinitives can be used after certain verbs such as decide, choose, remember, and expect. These are the verbs. This list of the verb is too long. It means there are many verbs after which infinitives are used, and there is also another list after which gerunds are used. But in this particular example, we use the verb decide. He decided to take the exam. There are many other verbs after which we use infinitives. So for more information, you can see the other textbooks or the other books which gives information about the infinitives. Thank you.